If you love American comedy, you love Chevy Chase. He's one of the legendary comic actors who has made strides in both American TV and film. He made his name as one of the original cast members of Saturday Night Live. On SNL, he played a variety of characters that became part of American pop culture. His famous Weekend Update series is still popular on SNL today, though die-hard fans will insist that no actor can replicate what Chevy did. It's safe to say he helped make SNL what it was. Many fans proclaim the show wasn't the same without him. But he did leave SNL pretty quickly. Many fans thought he did it to focus on his film career, but there's actually another reason why he left SNL that even his die-hard fans didn't know about. So why did Chevy Chase leave the cast of SNL? The first cast of Saturday Night Live included Lorraine Newman, John Belushi, Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner, Dan Aykroyd, Garrett Morris, and Chevy Chase. While this was a talented cast and many went on to become legends in their own right, no one could match the initial stardom of Chevy Chase. Looking back, it's easy to forget his time on the show only lasted 1 year. Chevy Chase was the first to leave SNL, and he was shortly replaced. But why did he leave? After all, as short as 1 year may seem, he made a huge impact during his time. He played some of the show's most memorable characters and also wrote many of the sketches. He had actually signed a writer's contract that only lasted 1 year. This was an alternative to a performer's contract that would have required him to work on the show for much longer. Naturally, when he left SNL, it came as a shock to audiences. His career certainly didn't come to an end, of course. After he left, he started acting in what would become some of America's most popular comedies. But was it because of a film career that Chevy left SNL? Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. And stay tuned for a lot more about Chevy Chase and why he left SNL. Many male entertainers get into show business to impress women. In other words, they do it to get the girl. Yet Chevy left SNL for a girl. It wasn't until the release of his 2007 biography that we learned the truth of why Chevy left SNL. He was in love with a girl who refused to move out of California. The girl was aspiring actress Jacqueline Carlin. They married in 1976 and remained married for 4 years. After Chevy left SNL, he focused on his film career and made occasional TV appearances. Bill Murray had replaced him on SNL. The two actors had appeared in the hit 80s comedy Caddyshack. They got along well, though Chevy Chase did feel tense when he hosted an episode of SNL in 1978. He felt that there had been resentment towards him for leaving the show so early. He later recalled he felt the atmosphere on set had been poisoned. Later on, Bill Murray had apparently told Chevy Chase that everyone on the show no longer liked him. Needless to say, Chevy felt he was not welcome on SNL. This was the first of many backlashes he'd experienced in his career. But the good news was he didn't slow down. His film career soared. He entertained audiences as Clark Griswold in the National Lampoon Vacation series. He also made us laugh while solving crimes in the Fletch films, and Caddyshack was a major hit, as was Three Amigos. By the late 80s, he was a major celebrity and was loved by audiences across the country. In the 90s and 2000s, he continued to work, though many of his films ended up being major flops. These included Nothing But Trouble, Memoirs of an Invisible Man, and Cops and Robertsons. Nevertheless, his career in the 70s and 80s was enough to sustain his legacy. For many in the entertainment industry, he was a legend. It was because of this aura around Chevy that he continued to get work, despite not replicating his work in the 90s and early 2000s. But in 2009, he introduced himself to a younger generation of comedy fans. He was cast as Pierce Hawthorne in the NBC sitcom Community. He played the character for 4 seasons and became a favorite on the show. Community became a hit and eventually developed a cult following. Though Chevy Chase had disagreements with creator Dan Harmon and left after the 4th season, he remains one of the best reasons to watch the show. So it all sounds great for Chevy Chase, yet there were still major challenges in his life, particularly in recent years. While Community was a hit and he still has a great fan base, there's another group who scornfully looks at him as one of Hollywood's has-beens. He also had a flop with his short-lived talk show called The Chevy Chase Show. It seemed as if the Chevy Chase brand didn't have the same power it once did. The fact that he's left projects in his career has also left a bad taste for many producers and directors. There still seems to be a lot of disdain for him because he left SNL after 1 season and Community after 4. While the early Vacation films were successful, it seems as if audiences got bored when Vegas Vacation was released. There also wasn't much love for Fletch Lives or Caddyshack 2. Age also seems to have affected his career. His roles worked well for a young and middle-aged man, but apart from Pierce Hawthorne, there aren't many roles that seem suited for Chevy Chase, who's now in his 70s. This is a common problem that many actors and actresses have to deal with as they approach their golden years. There's also numerous accounts that Chevy Chase has been hard to work with. Many former cast members have felt Chevy was difficult. They felt sometimes his jokes were too mean-spirited. In fact, during his time on Community, he would sometimes leave voicemails for creator Dan Harmon. These voicemails included some, shall we say, colorful language that Harmon clearly didn't appreciate. The voicemails became public and led to a public backlash to Chevy. He's also criticized the recent episodes of SNL. He feels that the show has lost its humor, and it's no longer great. While he received a lot of backlash for these comments, this is also a feeling others feel, though not everyone is as vocal as Chevy. He's also been a bit upset about his career in recent years. He feels he doesn't receive a lot of work because the entertainment industry is ageist. He thinks that because of his age, he's not receiving great offers in either film or TV. But he turned things around in 2019 when he got the lead role in the film The Last Laugh alongside Richard Dreyfuss. The film told the story of a former stand-up comedian who decides to go on one last tour. While the film had mixed reviews, fans and critics alike were happy to see Chevy play a great role in a feature film. It's clear to see that no matter how many flops he's had and how much backlash he's received, he still has a loyal legion of fans. There are also a few more films he'll be starring in that should be released later in 2020. While detractors may not care about such films, his fans are eager to see him back at the top of his game. We don't hear much from Chevy these days, and it might be due to his remarks in the news about his past experiences on film and TV sets. For many, this stigma will stick with Chevy. But for his fans, there will always be a place for Chevy Chase. Regardless of the stigma around him, no one can deny he has a place solidified in American entertainment. In other words, he remains a living legend. Are you a fan of Chevy Chase's work? Do you think that in recent years he's lost his popularity and his fame will fade away? Or is he a legend that we'll always love and cherish? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.